So on Thursday, the House Ethics Committee released their long-awaited report on what George Santos did. And it was more wild than I think any of us could have actually predicted. We're talking about money for spas, money for Botox. He's spending campaign money on OnlyFans. And that really is just like the tip of the iceberg. He's taking campaign cash out of ATMs at casinos. He's done. Like, George Santos is done. And he is taking the news just about as well as you could expect. Immediately after this report was released and picked up by pretty much every single media outlet across the country, George Santos cowardly admitted, "I am no longer going to seek re-election." And he also said that, hey, I'm a flawed guy, right? Yeah. No crap. We saw the report. You're a very flawed individual, but more importantly, you're a very corrupt individual. You know, flaws are one thing, like, I bite my nails sometimes. Okay, that's a flaw. You were engaging in massive campaign finance fraud. See, being a possible criminal is not just a flaw. That is a massive defect. And, of course, this House Ethics Committee investigation is not a thing that is going to lead to George Santos being criminally convicted. But if the House Republicans were able to come up with all this, you'd better believe that those prosecutors in New York have the same information, plus probably a lot more. So I think at this point, it is probably safe to say that when Santos's trial commences next September, he's most likely going to be going to prison after it's all over, and he is facing up to 20 years in jail. But as I said, he took the news not very well. So here is what George Santos had to say after the story broke. "I am humbled yet again and reminded that I am a human and I have flaws, but I will not stand by as I am stoned by those who have flaws themselves. I will continue on my mission to serve my constituents up until I am allowed. I will, however, not be seeking re-election for a second term in 2024, as my family deserves better than to be under the gun from the press all the time." Now, I think your family deserves a better person. Like, it's not just because the press is hounding you, it's because of what you did. Like, that's the reason your family is, under the spotlight of the media, not because the media just wants to, hound your family. It's because of what you did, and you're still not taking ownership of that. You're like, I'm humbled, but you all have flaws, so you can't talk to me. Yeah, we can, actually. Majority of us out here in the rest of the country have not engaged in massive campaign finance fraud. But that was just the beginning of Santos' statement. He then went on to get even more unhinged, and here is what he said. "It is a disgusting politicized smear that shows the depths of how low our federal government has sunk. Everyone who participated in this grave miscarriage of justice should all be ashamed of themselves. We, the people, desperately need an Article 5 constitutional convention. We are quickly approaching $34 trillion in debt. The government's continuously on the verge of a shutdown. Our southern border is wide open. Our current president is the head of an influence-peddling crime family, and all this Congress wants to do is attack their political enemies with tit-for-tat unconstitutional censures, impeachments, expulsions, and ethics investigations. The time is now for the states to rise up and commence an Article 5 constitutional convention." Whew. That's a lot of words to say. Please focus on anything other than my criminal activity, folks. Because that's what you're doing. That's what you want people to focus on, is like, yeah, I took a lot of donor money and I was spending it to make myself happy. But hey, we got a national debt over here. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're going to impeach Biden because it's tit for tat, he says. You're going down, bro. Like, you're probably not going to be in Congress by the end of this year. Republicans in the House were already hoping that the House Ethics Committee investigation was going to give them enough fodder to hold another vote to expel George Santos, and I think that their prayers were answered. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen. Oh, not be so grumpy.